real Moor only live once. A real Moor only live once. Real Moor only live once. A real Moor.
Your need, it's important today. It's gonna be one of some of the last meetings. Not cool right now. Thank you. Peace and love. It's 12:10. We're gonna get started. Look like it's not many, but it's the most important members here. It's long, peace and love. If you can hear me, tap in with me. I'm gonna give it about Nicole. It look like just me and you in here. Then we got Mama Lavera L. We got her in attendance. Well, we're gonna get started. We don't need many. Everything being recorded. This is an important demonstration we bringing today. Really long right there. Today we bring an important demonstration because recently what happened was that I recently proclaimed my nationality through the Moorish Science Temple of America. A lot of people have misconceptions about Moorish Science Temple of America, including some people that's proclaim Moors part of the conscious community, and also Moors that's in the temple, Grand Sheiks, governors, have you be. For my studies of the Moorish Science Temple of America, I've come to the conclusion that it was set up by the Prophet as a therapeutic government. From what I've seen, that has not been the practice of some Moorish Science Temple of America. So today, Sunday school, I'm going to go through a demonstration of just that. What is the Moorish Science Temple of America as far as a body politic, as a therapeutic government. What does that mean? How do we operate that? And how do we establish one right here in Houston? Because that's what we're doing. We're establishing us a Moorish Science Temple of America right here in Houston as a body politic, therapeutic government, religious organization, etc. So first I want to draw off the divine constitution and bylaws by Noble Drew Ali. Because once you read this divine constitution and bylaws by Noble Drew Ali, it comes transparent of what his mission was. What was he trying to establish with us? And why he was assassinated. Now, Noble Drew Ali told us to proclaim our nationality. Now, that's not a simple task, because nationality has been taken away from us in 1774, and we've been given the titles Negro, Black, Colored, etc. Now, in order to establish nationality, you have to have a nation. A nation is being as a state and a body politic. Nation has to have a constitution. A nation has to have certain elements of territory it occupies. It has to have customs. And it has to be tied to a sovereign people. Noble Drew Ali came and returned us our nationality. And this is how he did it, by establishing what we call the Moorish Science Temple of America. He was able to establish a body politic so we can come and proclaim our nationality with. Now, this is evident in the divine constitution. So every nation must have their own constitution. Every nation state, and we're going to get exactly what is a nation and what is a state. But I want to start here by reading the divine constitution and bylaws by Noble Drew Ali for the Moorish Science Temple of America. Okay. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet in the grand body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Islam. So off this right here, Act 1, this is political. The Grand Sheik has political powers, along with the chairman, to make law and enforce law. Okay, so take note to that. Also, with the assistance of the Prophet in the grand body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Take note to that. Act 1. This is in the Constitution formed by the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now I want to skip down to Act 6, and then I'm going to drive home my point. Now Act 6 says, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality in their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored people, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Okay, so off that demonstration right there, we can make a measure that proclaiming your nationality is the aim of this movement, to teach you your divine nationality and your divine creed, and that you are part of this government established by Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, etc. Now, with this Constitution, it gives you the structure to form what we call a body politic. A lot of Moors out here have nationality confused because they think it only involves you being conscious of your bloodline. That's only one part of nationality. Once you become conscious of your bloodline, you have to come allegiance with a body politic, a nation state to be in particular. We went last week, or last meeting rather, about what a nation state was. The point of this is that a lot of Moors, unless you become a part of a body politic where everybody has the same nationality, form constitution, elected officials, etc., then you don't have true sovereignty, because sovereignty comes through a nation state. So you're not really proclaiming nationality, you're more in the status of a refugee. And by default, if you don't even know how to enforce that status, you still go on the status of a 14th Amendment citizen, because you have no allegiance to no body politic. So let's get right into what body politic is, what it is not. Okay, I'm screen sharing the definition from Wikipedia of a country. Most people think a country is the land, or the land mass, as we may think. When we say our country is Morocco, yes, we speaking of the land, but we speaking of the political jurisdiction and the body politic that we are part of, the allegiance that we claim. This flag, Noble Drew Ali said, was 10,000 years old. And then in the Holy Quran, he explained that that's the dominion, which means jurisdiction, of our empire, which included North, South, and Central America. Now, this is what it means when the Prophet was speaking on jurisdiction. A country is a distinct territorial body or political entity, i.e. a nation. Islam. So off that demonstration, you can already see that a country is not the landmass. The landmass is geographical. A country is political. A country deals with the distinct territorial body. That breaks down to territorial jurisdiction. So a territorial body is a body politic that operates in a certain territory and claims jurisdiction over that territory. That would be correct territorial jurisdiction. Now let's look into what they have as a definition, according to Wikipedia, of territorial. Territorial is a territory and administrative division, usually an area that is under the jurisdiction of a sovereign state. In most countries, a territory is an organized division of an area that is controlled by a country that is not formally developed into or incorporated into a political unit of the country that is equal status. So that means that a country is a political body that's sovereign. They're not under the jurisdiction of any other sovereign political body. That's what it means to have a free national government. You will actually have a country, which we have. You know, it's Morocco. This is our Morocco. It says, to read on, it is often referred to as the land of an individual's birth, residence, or citizenship. So your citizenship, your birth, and residence are three ways where you can claim allegiance to your country or your political body, government. How? Because by birth, we all are the same nationality. So that's one way you can claim allegiance to your national government, which is Morocco Empire, aka the Moorish Temple of America. Residence. People think residence deals with where a person lives. You can only live in your body. Once you come into the science, you understand that spirit, soul, is inside the body. So your residence deals with more where you domicile or where you claim to reside, which deals with, again, allegiance. That means allegiance, where you have political allegiance to. What country, political government, what jurisdiction do you have political allegiance to? Citizenship is synonymous to residence, in a way. It's all about where you have political allegiance. A country may be an independent sovereign state or part of a larger state. So right there, that demonstration lets you know a country can be an independent sovereign state. That means that you are not under any type of lordship or subject to any type of other sovereign state. You have the power to create treaties. You have international political legitimacy. You legitimate in the political community in a family of nations as a nation state, having all the elements needed to have a nation state. Okay? So we just gonna conclude on that. And then we're gonna go down to the etymology of country. In English, the word has increasingly become associated with political divisions. So when we talk in English, country means political divisions, not so-called landmass or geographical territory. As far as geographic go, the maps you see on these maps are actually, you can type it in Google, it's called political maps. There's no such thing as a line between Texas and Louisiana, or Texas and what's next to us, New Mexico. There's no division between these things, for real. It's just political jurisdictions you enter, according to whoever colonies you enter, and that's according to whoever they under jurisdiction. Because remember, United States Corporation is not sovereign themselves. They subject to the crown, which is 3 jurisdictions. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about a political division, that's when you talk about these states. Every state is a sovereign. Texas is a state, but it's also a country because it's a synonymous. And it tells you right here, a country through misuse and subsequent conflation is now a synonym for state or a form of sovereign state in the sense of sovereignty, territory, or district, native land. So right there, what it's explaining to you now, a country was kind of described as a sovereign state, but now it's synonymous with states like, say, United States. When you describing these states, they not particular sovereign of each other because they still under foreign rule. They still under another rule. They don't have the power to make treaty. And that's evident in Article 1, Section 10, where it says prohibition of the states, and then it says no state shall enter into treaty. That means they don't have any sovereignty. State of Texas, state of Louisiana doesn't have sovereignty. See what I'm saying? So when you say you're a part of that, you are already saying you subject to who? Because if they don't have sovereignty, then who has sovereignty over that state? See what I'm saying? They can't enter into a treaty. Only sovereign states can enter into a treaty with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have nobody to answer to. That's what the sovereignty really means. So when we break that down, we see what we can kind of conclude what the word of country really meant. And now we can probably make a distinction what Noble Drew Ali was trying to bring to us. You know, this is right here one of his speeches that I've been going over, and it makes so much sense to me when you put in the minds of a jurist, when you're looking at the mind of a legal scholar, you kind of understand that the brother was just trying to get us to understand government and nationality, and that was our religion and the customs and things that goes along with that. So the prophet makes a plea to the nation, right? Who's a nation? We'll get into that definition right after this. What's a nation? What's nationality? The prophet said, our divine and national movement stands for the Pacific grand principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I, the prophet, am applying to all loyal, faithful Moors, members, and the American citizens to help me in my great uplifting acts, uplift and follow humanity among the Asiatic race and nation. For I have suffered much and severely in the past through misunderstanding of what the movement was dedicated to. It is the great God Allah alone that guides the destiny of this divine and national movement. I know all true American citizens are identified by national decent names to answer and apply to the free national constitution of this free national republic of the United States of America. That's why I am calling on all true national citizens to help me morally and financially in my great work I am doing to help this national government. For without a free national name with a decent flag of your forefathers, there is not a national divine title of the government in which we live. This is from your true and divine prophet unto all American and foreign sympathizers. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So right here we can make a measure that when he made this demonstration, he was trying to make a plea to the people that it's a misunderstanding going on. What's the misunderstanding? The prophet saying that people don't know what this movement is dedicated to. And he's saying that this movement is dedicated and to establish a free national republic, a free national government, a free national constitution for the Asiatic race and nation. So he broke that down. When you break down what he's saying, okay, race and nation, that's the two parts of nationality. Two parts of nationality deals with your knowing who your race is, your bloodline, your consanguinity. Then you deal with nation, which is political. Who do you pledge allegiance to? Now let's break down the definition of nation and nationality. Now I got the Black's Law Dictionary 5th edition. This is, all legal scholars know, this is modern and ancient principles and laws handed down through generations. Now first, we're going to break down what is a nation, right? A nation is a people, aggregation of men, existing in the form of an organized rural society. So off that demonstration, you already see a nation is some type of people, organization in the drill society, so it's political. So when a Moor says race, Asiatic race, and nation, we can make the measure off Black's Law Dictionary that the brother was talking political. Because a people is a nation. And we're going to get into the definition of a people in drill society. Drill society means a law-abiding by society of jurists. And jurists means legal scholars. So nationality, definition of nationality, you want to take notes to this. Write this down. Nationality. Look this up in Black's Law Dictionary. Is that quality or character which arises from the fact of a person's belonging to a nation or state. Nationality determines the political status of the individual, especially with reference to allegiance. So once again, just off that demonstration, we can already make a clear measure that nationality deals with two things, and that's quality and character. What quality do you need to have a nationality? Well, you have to have a bloodline. You have to have claims to the nation through consanguinity. Then you have to have a character. What is the character? The character is the action. The action is pledging allegiance to a government and becoming part and parcel of your government. Becoming an active member of uplifting humanity. Becoming, taking affairs of the men. Becoming an active member of society. And so that's how we become under the understanding of the two elements of nationality. And then it deals with reference to your allegiance, because that's where your political status lies, in your allegiance. Now we're going to go into the next definition. Since we understand allegiance and these things, that's going to what an actual people is. We're going to go into what a people is. P-E. There you go. Oh, here you go. Okay, a people. A people. A state. A people is a state, Mo. Okay. As the people of the state of New York. A nation in this collective and political capacity. A people is the nation. Nationality of people. When they say we the people, they're talking about a nation. People with a nationality. I mean, they was already a part of a state. Now let's go into what a state is. and this is the best one I love. A state is a people permanently occupying a fixed territory, bound together by common law habits and custom, into one body politic exercising through the medium of an organized government, independent sovereignty, and control over all persons and things within its boundaries, capable of making war and peace and of entering into international relations with other communities of the globe. United States versus Kush. That's case law, Mo. So we can see that a people, by ancient modern terms of the Black's Law Dictionary, is a people organized under body politic, exercising their sovereignty and control over everything within their boundaries. Islam. So once again, what state are you from? What nationality do you proclaim? Who do you have allegiance to? What flag and body politic of people are you a part of? Because without those things, you have no nationality. So it's time for us to stop playing and come together. Because when we play with the Europeans, they're not playing with you. They know exactly what time it is. Let's look at the definition of a refugee. Now, without a group of people like myself right now, I'd be considered a refugee, but I became a part of the Moorish Temple of America. But for the ones who don't, and say you come conscious of your consanguinity, your bloodline, a refugee is someone who has been forced to flee his country because of persecution, war, violence. A refugee has a well-founded fear of persecution for reasons of race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. Most likely they cannot return home or are afraid to do so. War and ethnic trouble and religious violence are leading causes of refugees fleeing their countries. So, in the Wizard of Oz, you the cowardly lion, Islam. That's what they respect you as. Once you have a nationality and you scared to be a part of your group or your nation state, you have fear, you are a refugee under political status. This is what they consider you as. Nobody respects cowards. Until you respect this flag and respect your forefathers and foremothers and what they stood for and what they died for, then you won't be respected in this political corporation that's oppressing us, or by any families of the nations of the earth. And Moorish Holy established that too. He said that too. And if you look in last week, we went into the divine warning. Moorish Holy said in divine warning, without a nationality, you will be treated as undesirable. I'm going to go through it one more time with you. A divine warning about a prophet for the nations. You know what a nation is, a state, political governments, people. The citizens of all free national governments, according to their national constitution, are all of one family bearing one free national name. Okay? So he breaks down the elements right there of a nation. Citizens of a free national government, meaning you're not under anyone else's sovereignty, just like we seen what a country was. A country is a government, political body politic that's not under anybody else's sovereignty. You free. Alright? Bearing one free national name. Just like last week I gave a demonstration on how Chinese people rock, or so-called Asians. They have one free name. They don't have all these variations of 100 names because they name ties back to their constitutions and their nationality. So all of them go under the name Lee or Chen or something like that, because this is about nationality and bloodline, not about who you get married to or who you what name you want to create and just call yourself. This is about honoring your foremothers and forefathers who've been here 1,000 years and laid down the law way before you came. So the prophet said this, those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirables and are subject to all inferior names and abuses and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. So if you don't recognize your nationality, you ain't proclaimed no nationality out here, you ain't got nobody politic you a part of, and you just out here willy-nilly, just think it's sweet, then you basically putting yourself in a situation where you can be treated as inferior. You giving consent through acquiescence. You saying, okay, the prophet came, you got the message about proclaiming your nationality and joining. You didn't make no move on that. That's acquiescence in law. So by that, you get treated as an inferior. Because it's public record, House resolution, and the mayors came and made another proclamation that Noble Drew Ali was the prophet. And that we had a therapeutic government and we was indigenous to America. So you've been notified. And it says it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitutional laws of a national government and cling to the names and the principles that allude to slavery. It's a sin for you to do this. So nobody respects you. You a refugee. You scared to proclaim allegiance to your own country. This is your country. You fleeing. You fleeing your own country. And you going over the customs and the principles of your oppressor. That's a sin. So, just off that measure, what my whole point is, the remedy to this is that we come together on the body politic, Moorish Holy Temple of America, under the grand body, Supreme Temple of in the New Mecca, Chicago, under the Supreme Grand Sheik, moving us, you can say, like a central government, which it is, form our own nation state, appoint our own members, have our own elections, etc. Grand Sheik has the power to make and enforce law. Proclaiming your nationality deals with your political status. I already been starting on the whiteboard of some ideas. We've been putting a lot of things together already. I don't have a copy of it, but we've been typing up documents and working hard around on board to get this set up. Let me see who we got in the meeting right now. Okay. So after today, starting today actually, after this meeting, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be just setting up the temple. October 20th, 15th to the 20th is the convention. So we just gonna be getting everybody in position. Things they have to know to be officials. This is not for the weak. This is not for everybody. We're not looking for 100 members. We're looking for dedicated, faithful Moors that have fit the three qualifications. And the three qualifications is this. Do you love your race? Do you truly have pride for your race? And do you really think your conditions can be better? And if you think all three of these things fit you, then come join the Moorish Holy Temple of America. Because that's what we're for. To teach people they divine nationality according to Act 6 and their divine creed. They may know that they are part and parcel of this said government. So if you think those three things fit you, then come help me in my mission. I need all the help I can get. If I'm putting myself out online, why not you? Don't you love your race? Don't you love your people? The Europeans even helping us. So this is our problem. We only ones can fix it. It's in our hands. Don't be looking for the next man. Noble Drew Ali brought us the saving power, the everlasting gospel, and he was the first one to bring it. On top of that, he wasn't even a copycat. And the thing is, what he brought us was that Allah is inside you. God is inside you. Ain't no man in the sky coming back. Jesus means justice. And justice is one of our 5 principles. And if those 5 principles ain't brought out, then justice shall be rendered. And if you feel like, this is not for you, or you don't want to proclaim your nationality, then, justice will catch you. Because it's been already a covenant before you was born that if you don't honor your father and mother, your days on this earth will not be lengthened. Be short. And the wrath of Allah is here. If you can't see it, that means you ain't got the glasses on. If you don't see these vaccinations and these earthquakes and tornadoes happening, all these things been happening right in your face. It's never happened. We finna have in Louisiana, they have an evacuation right now. This make the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina, same day. So if you don't think nationality matters and coming together matter, because we come together to go to the club, we come together to go to party, barbecues, we come together for baby showers, we come together for a lot of things. But when it comes to coming together to form businesses, when it comes together to form governments, to do something that really matters for our people and yourself, we never come together for those things. So, we need to start thinking about that. What are we coming together for? What are we putting our efforts into? Because those things that we have been putting our efforts into really don't matter. That party, that barbecue, really not going to save you from the wrath of Allah that's coming. It's not really not. A lot of things that we've been putting our energy into really not going to matter maybe in the next year. We at the time. We at the last days. Not of us, but we live forever. But we're in the last days of the European rulership. And they ain't going down without a fight. And everybody that they catch out there lacking without a nationality, you see what's going on in Afghanistan with these refugees. That's what's going to happen here. You're going to be on foreign military rule, which you already is, but it's not going to be covered up now. It's not going to be covered up. I just hope that you take divine heed and warning to this prophet and this man put his life on the line to let you know certain warnings of things and look out for things and to save yourself. That's all his mission was. He said, I gave you everything it takes to save a nation, political body. Now take it and save yourself. Save yourself, man. Because that's what I came to realizations that everybody gotta, when they wake up in the morning, guess what we get? 2 C's, a chance and a choice. We all get the same 24 hours, same chance, but we all got a choice. And every choice you make, you gotta live with. So I can't save nobody else that's making different choices when they got the same chance. How can I save you and you gotta live with your choices? Everybody's has to face their own music. I can't land that casket for nobody.